The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. eyes to strengthen the disaster response efforts of the government by putting the country's NDRRMC under his office.
The Department of Justice discloses updates on other personalities behind suspended Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag to kill Percy Lapid.
See the blood moon total lunar eclipse that will roar within the sky tonight.
And North Korea launches ballistic missiles in protest to the South Korea and U.S. Air Force drills known as the Vigilant Storm.
Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Tuesday, the 6th of November 2022. For the 8th of November, join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. I am William Theo.
We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Harley Delgado.
First in the news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. led the commemoration of Super Typhoon Yolanda severely battered the country. In connection with this, the president wants to strengthen the disaster response efforts of the government. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. believes putting the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council or NDRRMC under the office of the president would streamline disaster response efforts. According to the president, this has been suggested for many years.
There has been a suggestion that has been going around for many years now, in that we will put the disaster response team, the national response team, under the office of the president. And I think that we are headed in that direction because of the weather that we are suffering now from the effects of climate change.
President Marcos Jr. also claims that the NDRRMC will become a more robust system under his office. The president made this remark during his visit today to Tacloban City for the 9th anniversary of Super Typhoon Yolanda. The chief executive assured the people of Tacloban that the government would continue to prioritize its recovery, especially the completion of the resettlements of the displaced families and the provision of support to affected businesses. President Marcos also said the uncounted fatalities from Super Typhoon Yolanda should never be forgotten.
I come here because I must commemorate those uncounted dead that up to now we do not know how many that number is. We must come to these commemorations so that we will remember those who we were told not to remember.
According to PBBM, the commemoration was also a demonstration and a manifestation of the strength and courage of Filipinos. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue, we serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Department of Justice disclosed that they have not yet identified any other personalities behind suspended Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag to kill Percy Lapid. Dante Amento tells us why.
Attorney Berteni Causing, spokesperson of the Lapid family, disclosed they believe that there may be another mastermind, aside from suspended Bureau of Corrections Chief Gerald Bantag, over the murder case of Lapid.
When I say co-masterminds, they have agreed to each other that they would come to a proposal to execute the killing of Mr. Percy Lapid.
But Justice Secretary Crispin Rimulya, on the other hand, said based on the evidence gathered, there is no other personalities identified for now as co-mastermind of Bantag.
Wala kami nakikitang iba. We're awaiting the AMLAC report. Kaya nasa 95% lang tayo kasi AMLAC report, kinukompleto natin, meron tinuturo mga tao doon sa pera. You always follow the money when there's a criminal enterprise.
Rimulya also challenged Bantag to face and cooperate with the investigation of his case if he is indeed innocent.
Participate in the preliminary investigation. Wala ka tinatago. Put your money where your mouth is. Kung meron ka talagang deniability, Sabihin mo sa amin. Ilabas mo, gawin mo affidavit. Gumawa ka na sworn statement mo.
The DOJ is seeking for a whole departure order against Bantag to prevent him from leaving the country.
Actually, there's no need because they're public officials. They cannot leave the country without any travel authority. Ang mas mahalaga lang talaga dito, we will be already filing a whole departure order. I already instructed the staff.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Meanwhile, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa believes that suspended Bureau of Corrections or Bucor Chief Gerald Bantag should answer the allegations against him in connection with the killing of broadcaster Percy Lapid. Bantag, together with other personalities, are facing murder complaints filed by the National Bureau of Investigation and the Philippine National Police over the killing of Lapid and the alleged middleman, June Villamor. De la Rosa, who also served as a Bucor Director General under the Duterte administration, advises Bantag to face the charges and undergo the process of the law. Bantag earlier said in an interview that he would rather die than be jailed, as he denied his alleged involvement in the killing.
Harapin mo. In a way, if you are really innocent, then you will be set free. Wala ka namang danger kung nasa custody ka na ng gobyerno. Anong danger na natakot mo? Kung pagbigyan natin si Senator De Lima na hiwalay doon sa ibang mga kulungan, pwede rin naman i-afford dyan sa kanya.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, believe that insurgency in the country will end soon. AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar says the cooperation of the community is a big help to weaken the strength of the communist group. Leia Ilagan tells us why.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines believe that the weak guerrilla front of the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army, will die on its own. AFP spokesperson Colonel Medel Aguilar says the insurgency in the country will end soon due to the continuous operation of the military and police.
Nakikita natin na basta tuloy-tuloy lang ang sinasagawang operasyon ng pamahalaan at ng mamamayan at patuloy po ang pagbilang seguridad ng ating mga military at mga police at iba pang law enforcement body, nakikita na mawawala ng saysay ang mga mahihinang guerrilla fronts na ito ng CPP-NP.
The cooperation of the community is a big factor to weaken the Communist Party of the Philippines, New People's Army, or CPP-NPA.
Una po ay ang nagpapasalamat kami sa inig ang taong bayan tungkol sa mga pahayag ng ating pamahalaan at ang mga dating kasapi ng CPP-NPA. Dito ay nagkakaroon ng linaw sa kanila kung ano yung sistema, ano ang nature at saka yung ano ang ginagawa ng mga threat na ito sa RT. So dahil dito ng magandang ugnayan ang gobyerno at saka yung pamayanan at nagiging makapulumplementasyon ng mga proyekto na tulad sa mga pinanggagalingan ng problema ng insurgensya.
The AFP appeals to the public to accept former rebels who surrendered and willing to return to the folds of the law.
Maging handa din sa pagtanggap sa ating mga former rebels na ibabalik natin sa komunidad dahil sila rin naman ay mga Pilipino.
It can be recalled that AFP Chief of Staff General Vicente Bacaro said that 19 of the 24 remaining guerrilla front of the CPP-NPA will end soon. Leia Ilagan, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
North Korea recently launched a barrage of ballistic missiles in response to the South Korea and U.S. Air Force drills known as the Vigilant Storm. Nerissa Danda will tell us why live. Yes, Nerissa?
Good evening, guys. North Korea's military claims that they intended to practice their offensive strike against South Korea and the U.S. as the North continues to feel the threat of the allies' alleged invasion rehearsal. The North fired dozens of missiles and planes towards the South Korean and Japanese sea regions, aiming at key targets, including U.S. military and air bases and Operation Command systems. A number of evacuation alerts were since triggered for both countries. In a statement by the North's military general staff, the nation's Korean People's Army are ready to continue their counterstrikes against the Allies' military moves they continue to view as provocative. Some experts do believe that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is also using this as an opportunity to expand his army's nuclear arsenal and possibly use this to his advantage in the North's future dealings with the Allies. South Korea and the U.S. already plan to further expand their joint military trainings. Both forces are adamant that these exercises are defensive in nature with no intention to invade the North, but that they are also ready to defend against North Korea's nuclear threats.
Thank you, Nerissa Dando, reporting live from Japan. The National Emergency Crisis and Disaster Management Authority, or NESIMA, in United Arab Emirates, or UAE, has announced that wearing of masks at all open and closed facilities, including mosques and places of worship, is no longer required. This started yesterday, November 7 at 6 a.m. UAE time. However, masks must still be worn inside health facilities and hospitals. In addition, anyone who tests positive for COVID-19 should still isolate for 5 days, and polymerase chain reaction, or PCR, testing and treatment health facilities will continue to operate. Organizers of sports events can still require PCR tests for admittance. Last month, NESIMA removed the daily reporting of COVID-19 cases and that masks were no longer required in most indoor places. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Kat. The proposed 5.2 trillion peso national budget has been sponsored in the Senate today, wherein funds for several programs will be augmented. This report will tell us why.
National budget. Under the said budget, over 1.5 trillion pesos will be tagged as automatic appropriations, 3.6 trillion pesos for new appropriations, while 588 billion pesos are considered unprogrammed funds. The Senate's version of the General Appropriations Bill pushes to augment the funding of various programs under different agencies. It also aims to fund the country's recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic, the effects of the Russia-Ukraine war, and the aftermath of severe tropical storm Paeng. Ang Angara said the budget supports the major priorities of the Marcos administration, including food security, where the agriculture sector will get a share of up to 179 billion pesos. Funding is also secured for social programs under the Department of Social Welfare and Development, such as the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino Program, or 4Ps. Emergency employment programs under the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, will continue. Subsidies in the transport and agriculture sectors will also continue to mitigate the effects of high prices of petroleum products. The quick response funds of various government agencies are also augmented for disaster response. In the education sector, student financial assistance programs and scholarships will be funded, with 56 billion pesos allocated under the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Program. Despite this, Angara underscored the importance of smart budgeting with the limited resources of the government. He noted that the government will be spending 14.4 billion pesos on a daily basis, in which only 10 billion pesos can be sourced through revenues, while the 4.4 billion pesos must be financed by debt.
Yan ang patak ng metro natin kada 24 oras. Bago lumubog ang araw, kailangan makalikom ng 7.2 billion pesos. At bago sumikat naman, dapat makakamada ng 7.2 billion muli. These numbers are easy to memorize, and they should be a sobering reminder that against many requests being asked of the government, that there are no only resources to fund them.
The marathon deliberations will begin tomorrow, with the Senate eyeing to pass its version of the budget bill before the month ends. Harleen Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Tomorrow would be the first day of the 2022 bar examinations. The Supreme Court says a total of 9,821 examinees will take the exams. 5,847 are first time to get the bar, while the others are second time and more. 14 schools nationwide will be used as local testing centers. The next examinations will be on November 13, 16, and 20, 2022.
Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA mulls on the extension of EDSA busway operating hours for the holiday season. JP Nunez tells us why.
Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA will seek Department of Transportation to extend EDSA busway operating hour until 12 midnight. This is due to the adjustment in the operating hours of malls that will take effect next Monday, November 14. MMDA Acting Chairman Romando Artes said they consider mall employees will be out in their work before midnight, which will be conflict to them as current EDSA busway operation only lasts until 11 p.m.
Definitely we will coordinate with the Department of Transportation para ma-extend po ito at least hanggang 12 p.m. po. Sabihin, magre-request po tayo sa kanila. 12 midnight.
Starting next Monday, mall operating hours will be adjusted from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. This was decided by the MMDA and mall operators to decongest traffic as influx is expected while holiday season approaches.
Kanina po nagkaroon tayo ng pagpupulong sa mga malls regarding adjustment po sa operating hours, deliveries, and yung mall-wide sale. Ito po naman ay taon-taon na nire-request natin sa kanila at nagko-comply naman po para po makabawas ng traffic sa mga lansangan leading to the malls.
MMDA expects that daily vehicle counts in EDSA will increase from 10% to 20% this holiday season. As of today, there are already more than 400,000 vehicles in EDSA on a daily basis. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Russian-appointed authorities are working on restoring power in the occupied city of Kherson after electricity and water supplies were cut off. Ia De Vera will give us the details live. Ia?
Kherson, the port city of Ukraine, which Russia took over months ago, has no source of power since Sunday due to damaged electricity lines caused by alleged attack from the Ukrainian government. Kirill Stremusov, deputy head of the Kherson Military Civilian Administration, said Monday that Russians now partially restored power in the said city after damages on the Berislav-Kakhovka power line as well as the Kakhovka hydroelectric power station. Meanwhile, the Ukraine government has not responded to all allegations. President Volodymyr Zelensky in his video address said that around 4.5 million people were affected by the power loss in the country and asking his citizens to endure the hardships.
Станом на цей вечір у Києві та 6 областях продовжуються стабілізаційні відключення електрики. Без світла більше 4,5 мільйонів споживачів. Найбільше зараз у Києві та Київській області. Дійсно складно. Що б там не хотіли терористи, чого б вони не домагалися, ми маємо пройти цю зиму і бути навесні ще сильнішими, ніж зараз. Бути ще більш готовими до звільнення всієї нашої території, ніж зараз.
In October, it was reported by Ukraine's Southern Operational Command that Russian forces occupying the Kherson region had been intentionally shutting off water and electricity lines to force civilians to evacuate. Over the last month, Russia is targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure, causing electricity shortage in the country. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Ia De Vera, for that live report. Tesla CEO and now owner of Twitter, Elon Musk, is endorsing the Republicans for the United States midterm elections. Maeve Dog will tell us why live. Maeve?
Kath, Elon Musk posted a tweet calling for independents to vote Republican ahead of Tuesday's midterm elections in the U.S. This is the first time a head of a social media platform has explicitly endorsed a U.S. political party. He wrote, "Shared power curbs the worst excesses of both parties, and since the presidency is Democratic, he recommends voting for a Republican Congress in pursuit of balance in government." Nonpartisan election forecasters suggest Republicans are favored to win a majority in the House of Representatives. Former Republican Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich described Mr. Musk's comments as very encouraging. Mr. Musk has recently faced criticism over his absolutist stance on free speech, with some groups warning against a rise in misinformation and hate speech on Twitter following his acquisition. Back in April, Mr. Musk stated that the social media platform must be politically neutral in order to deserve public trust, which means upsetting both sides equally. Back to you, Kath.
Thank you, Maven Dog, reporting live from Australia. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I'm Kat Dumaraos, live from Bangkok, Thailand. Good evening.
Candidates and leading political figures made their final pitches as the U.S. midterm election campaign season ends. The polls will determine who will win the Congress. It is expected that the results of this election will have an effect to the administration agenda of U.S. President Joe Biden. Biden graced the campaign of his party and gave his speech in Maryland, which is considered as Democrats' stronghold. Biden stressed in his speech that the bones of their democracy is at risk. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump was in Ohio for their final campaign event. He had pitched that he might formally launch a third presidential run with Senate President J.D. Vance. Trump appealed to support Republican candidates. 435 seats are available for U.S. House of Representatives, while 35 seats are open for the Senate.
The damage to agriculture across the country due to severe tropical storm Paeng has breached 3.41 billion pesos. Latest data from the Department of Agriculture shows 83,704 farmers and 89,011 hectares of land have been affected by the typhoon. Affected commodities include rice, corn, high-value crops, fisheries, livestock, and poultry. The affected agricultural lands are mainly in the regions of Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, Bicol, Mimaropa, Calabarzon, Eastern, Central and Western Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Central Mindanao, and Sorsogon.
The estimated cost of infrastructure damage due to severe tropical storm Paeng has now reached 4.5 billion pesos, according to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC. Meanwhile, the number of casualties has increased to 158 as of today. 142 are recorded injured, while 34 persons are still missing in the wake of the severe typhoon.
Spectators and astronomical enthusiasts were able to see the total lunar eclipse today. In Manila, it started at 5:19 p.m. The peak was at 6:59 p.m. and will end until 9:58 p.m. tonight. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAG-ASA, set a telescope in their observatory at the University of the Philippines, or UP, in Diliman, Quezon City. The video now being seen on your screen is the live feed from the social media account of PAG-ASA. This lunar eclipse is also being seen in other countries in Asia, Australia, Europe, and North and South America. The next total lunar eclipse will occur in 2025.
Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament. There is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 50, it says, "And His mercy is on them that fear Him from generation to generation." And those are the reasons behind the news, November 8, 2022. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. I am Harley Delgado.
And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.